from behind the wheel. Therese probably got her imaginative talent from her father, who was a successful crime fiction writer. As soon as his first book made the New York Times bestsellers list, he moved his family out into their big log cabin in the San Juan Mountains. Therese saw her father eyeing her in the rearview mirror. "Aren't we, sweetie pie?" She wondered at her father's need to praise her mother all the time. Didn't her mother already know she was brilliant and that her husband and daughter looked up to her? "Absolutely. You're awesome, Mom." Therese's phone vibrated again. A text from Paul read, "What are you wearing?" She cringed and murmured, "Oh, how gross." She couldn't believe he had got her number. He had been stalking her around campus just before school let out for the summer. Before she had a chance to delete the text, Therese heard the rear window behind her head explode. "What the—" Glass shards pricked at her neck and bare shoulders. The car swerved left and right. She looked back to see the window behind her busted. The line of headlights had dispersed into chaos, horns blasting, people shouting. "What the hell was that?" her father yelled. "Oh my God! Linda! Linda!" "Dad, what's wrong? Is Mom—" Another explosion rang out and something zipped just past Therese's head. "Therese, are you okay? Get down!" "What's happening? What's going on?" Therese cowered in the back seat as a third explosion sounded, this time near the windshield. Therese could barely breathe. She gasped for air, her heart about to explode. "Stay down! Someone's shooting at us!" her father shouted. The car swerved, slowed, and turned. The smell of burned rubber permeated the air. Therese's head whipped back as her father gunned the accelerator. Her fingers trembled so wildly she was barely able to punch the correct numbers on her phone. She messed up twice and had to start over. Finally, she pressed them in slow motion. 911. It seemed an eternity before a woman answered on the other end. 911, is this an emergency? "Someone's shooting at us. You've got to help us. We're leaving Fort Lewis College. Dad, where are we?" "Heading toward Huck Finn Pond." "Huck Finn Pond!" Therese screamed into the phone as the car swerved, her seatbelt digging into her hip. Then she noticed the blood dripping down the back of her mother's neck and onto her mother's silk scarf. "Oh my God! Mom? Mom, are you okay?" "She'll be okay, Therese," her father shouted. "Oh my God, I think my mom's been shot. You've got to do something. You've got to help us." A crushing sound shot through the car, and Therese felt herself jolted hard to the right. She hit her head on the window and dropped the cell phone. When she bent over and tried to pick it up, the back end of the car lurched upward like a seesaw, and her head hit the back of her mother's seat in front of her. She sat up and saw they were sailing through the air over the lake. The front end of the car hit the water, causing her head to flop forward and back. She heard the air hissing through the airbags as they inflated in the front end. She was so stunned she couldn't speak. She watched in silent shock as water crept into the front end of the car, up to her father's neck, the untied bow tie of his tuxedo floating around him. The front airbags pressed against her father's cheek, her mother's face. Water spilled over the front seat and onto the floorboard and back where she sat elevated higher than her parents. She unfastened her seatbelt and leaned over and looked down at her mother in horror. A bullet had put a hole in the back of her neck, and blood rushed from it. Her head lay against the airbag, turned to one side, toward Therese's father. Her eyes were open, and she was gasping for air, but blood was pouring from her mouth and choking her. "Mom! Oh my God! Mom!" Therese's teeth chattered uncontrollably as her mother strained to look at her. She reached down and caressed her mother's hair. "Mom! Oh my God!" She realized her father had been shouting her name for several seconds. "Listen to me, Therese. Therese, try to open your window. Therese, try to get out of the car." His voice sounded like it did when he was cheering her on from the deck of the pool at her swim meets. "Keep going, Therese. You're looking good. Kick. Pull." Except now it was tinged with desperation. "I'm not leaving without you and Mom. I'm scared. Dad, please, can't you get out?" Her teeth continued to chatter. The water level rose to his mouth. He shook his head. "I'm stuck," he shouted through the water. His eyes widened as the water crept to his nose. He was drowning right in front of her. "Dad! Dad!" In a state of frenzy, he turned from side to side, only the top of his head